Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students and viewers, I honestly believe and hope that you are all well physically and mentally. Despite the COVID pandemic situation, I am grateful to Almighty because He has kept us alive and sound, and He has made us enable to take the class again, though it is online class. I am grateful to Almighty because we can come together, though it is distant learning, and I hope that you are all well at your home, following the rules of health. In fact, it is long since we last met in the physical class, face to face, but due to the pandemic situation, despite having our strong will to meet together, we cannot come together. I hope that as your class is going on in online system, you are spending your time at home fruitfully. You are using your time for your academic purpose as well. Today, you know me well. I am your English teacher, Muhammad Anisar Rahman. Today, I like to take your ACC second year syllabus. That means you have 12 items of grammar, and one of the items is completing sentences. I like to discuss on completing sentence today. In fact, English is an elaborate subject. If I like to teach you completing sentences, I have to discuss many other items. Basically, completing sentence is not a chapter. It is just an item of examination. In the SSC exam, we get an item named completing sentences. But if you want to do well in this item, what should you know? Of course, you should know the function of parts of species. You should know the syntax, that means the subject-verb agreement. You have to know the rules of the right forms of verb, and you must have ideas on the use of correlatives. So as it is an elaborate item, today I will try my best to give you a brief conception. What are the necessary things? What are the necessary elements you may need for doing completing sentences? So, to do well in this item, at first you have to know these things. You have to have idea on which items. These are the items. Number 1, transformation of sentences. Second, subject verb agreement. Third, rules of the right form of verbs. Fourth, idea on the use of correlatives. In fact, knowledge in English cannot be confined. The items of grammar which you want to solve, actually it demands the necessity of other items as well. It has no particular chapter or particular item. That means if you are skillful in English, if you can speak well, if you can write well, if you understand well, and if you listen to English from different sources, ultimately your completely sentence will develop. But for our class teaching, I like to give you some tips on these very items. Today, I like to discuss items of the correlatives. That means regarding correlatives, we can discuss today about the use of no sooner. Use of no sooner than, hardly, when, or before. Would rather than, had better, and not only but also. There are many other items as well, but today my points of discussions are these. I will try my best to finish these items today for my class. Suppose in your exam question you have to complete a sentence using no sooner than. So how you should proceed on if you get such a sentence on no sooner than? Suppose you have got a sentence on hardly when, then I will try my best to teach you how you can complete a sentence if you get such a structure. Then would rather than, had better, and not only but also. You know that in the exam paper you will be given a sentence for half or quarterly or 1/3, and students have to complete the other items, other parts. For example, in the completing sentence, if you get such a sentence starting with no sooner, then you have to follow this structure: no sooner plus had plus subject plus verb past participle plus extension may have or may not have plus then plus subject plus verb past form plus extension may have or may not have. This is the basic structure. That means if the sentence starts with no sooner, ultimately you have to go up to this point. If you can successfully go to this point, you can be sure that yes, I have completed my sentence. But if you cannot go up to this point, anywhere else or somewhere else or in any point, there might have some mistakes. I like to give an example on this structure. Suppose your sentence starts with no sooner had the teacher, no sooner had the teacher entered the classroom, then you are asked to complete the sentence. It does not mean that the answers of all the students will be same. The answers may differ from person to person or student to student, but a structure must be followed in the same way. And now we can see that in how many ways this sentence may be completed. Suppose Mr. Rashid has written, no sooner had the teacher entered the classroom, I stood up. Stood up. It's okay. But Sabrina has written, no sooner had the teacher entered the classroom, the students became silent. Okay, that is also okay. There is no particular answer. Answer may vary, but structure must be same. Now, another student, suppose he is Rashid. He has written, no sooner had the teacher entered the classroom, then the peon rang the bell. These three answers all are correct because all three students have written the sentence in the same structure. Now look at the structure and look at the sentence. No sooner. Then had. Then subject the teacher. Then past participle verb. Entered. So we have written entered. That is all right. Extension means here we have extension the classroom. Then no sooner, had, the subject, the teacher, past participle verb, entered, the classroom, extension, plus then, okay? After then, the sentence must be of past indefinite tense. Then plus subject plus verb past form. Past participle means perfect form or past indefinite tense extension. Then it is the matter of examination. If we cannot write stood and in place of a stand, then it will be wrong sentence. As the student has written stood, this is all right. Stand, stood. Stood is past form. The other student has written became. So became past form. Okay. The third student has written rang past form. Now the point of discussion is that when we assess the answer scripts of the students, in most of the time we find the mistakes in such places. Possibly one student has written had, but he has not written the past participle verb. Here he or she has made a mistake. So this is the point where a student should be more careful in writing the verb. And another point, many students write whole the structure, but for the forgetfulness or uncarefulness, they have forgotten to write then. They don't write then. So if they cannot write then, it is incomplete structure. Because with no sooner, there must have then. This is the relationship of correlatives. If there is a no sooner, there must have then as conjunction. So, if a student write this structure in this way, inshallah he will write correctly. But if he does otherwise, it means that he has made some mistake. So, we should be alert whenever we write the structure of no sooner. Then I like to say again, if your sentence starts with no sooner, you have to go up to this point, and if you can follow this structure, you can be sure that your writing is correct. Then my next point, hardly when, hardly before or when. In place of no sooner, if the sentence starts with hardly, then how he or she will progress on? In the same way, In place of no sooner, there is hardly. After hardly, he or she can also write had, and then subject, and then verb, past participle, then extension as well. Then in place of then, in this case, because of hardly, he has to just change the conjunction only. In place of then, he or she will write here before or when. Or when. Not very much difference, a little difference. In place of no sooner, he will or she will write hardly, and then in place of then, he or she will write before or when. Other structure are same. Now I like to give an example. Suppose students in completing sentence has got a sentence starting with hardly. Hardly had the rat seen the cat. Seen the cat. Suppose in the examination question, a student has got a question starting with hardly had. Then how he will finish the sentence? Students must understand that here he or she has to write when or before, just in place of then, and then he can proceed on like before. The subject, the rat or it, maybe pronoun. Hardly had the rat seen the cat, when or before the rat entered into the hole. Okay, so in this way he can also finish the sentence. Just he has to be careful about which type of conjunction has started the sentence. If it is no sooner, then in this way he has to complete. If it is hardly, he has to complete the sentence in this way, when or before. Other items are as well. There are 3 items which are a little difference. One is no sooner, another is hardly, and third one is scarcely. So as I have the limitation of time, I think that in the next class I will try my best to progress the class in this way. And before coming the next class, I hopefully think that my students will use their time at home, and they must be careful about their health. Without any reason, you should not come out, and if you have to come out for any special purpose, you must use your mask to save yourself from the COVID-19. I hope Allah will keep you alive and me as well, and in the next class I will see you again. Thank you very much.